Alright, what's up guys, Game Pain Fan of all games here, and I'm back giving you another drama scripted Saturday, and on this week's drama scripted Saturday, I'm going to give you my review on this past pay-per-view, which was SummerSlam. And let me hop right into it. First off, SummerSlam was way too long. The main pay-per-view was 4 hours, and if you include the pre-show, that makes it 5 hours. Way too long. Had no idea it was going to be 5 hours long. I don't remember them advertising at all that it was going to be that long, but it just really dragged for a pay-per-view. It was extremely long. And two of the title matches were throwaway matches. The tag title match was a throwaway, ended in disqualification, and the US title match, I don't even think, never officially began. And I'm not a fan of that, having throwaway title matches on pay-per-views. I feel that's kind of messed up to the fans that actually pay the extra money to go to these pay-per-views and buy the tickets to see these title matches, and you just have it end in a no contest or a disqualification. I've always felt that those type of matches should always have some type of finish, whether the heel wins or the face wins, or if someone cheated but the ref didn't see it. It should have some type of clear-cut victory. The winner should not end in a DQ, and it should not end in like a no contest or like to be scrubbed. I've always hated when wrestling companies do title matches and they end in disqualification. So what was the point? So now this should obviously carry on. So didn't like the tag match, didn't like the title tag match, didn't like the US match, and the US title match didn't even start. So that. But some of the good matches, Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair, that was, in my opinion, the second best match of the night, and Sasha putting on a great performance even with her lower back seeming to be injured, and that's why she had to lose the belt, because she needed time off to recovery, and she's not scheduled back for an appearance currently until September 23rd. So she's been removed from all live events until September 23rd, and she's going to get her back checked out in early September. Best match on the card was AJ Styles versus John Cena. I said that they were probably going to let Cena win, but I also forgot that John Cena has not won a SummerSlam in 6 years. Forgot that played a role. And AJ Styles won clean. And Charlotte actually won clean. So I'm a fan of when they have the heels win clean. Best match on the card, easily a 4.55 star match between John Cena and AJ Styles. It was an excellent match. I would watch the pay-per-view just for that match again. Dean versus Dolph Ziggler was an okay match. I would give it 3 stars. It was okay. The crowd wasn't as into it, but at that part, the show was going on its 3rd hour. So where a normal pay-per-view should be ending, this pay-per-view still had another hour or 2 if they were there for the pre-show, 2 hours to go, and it was just exhausting. Same thing I feel for the Seth versus Finn Balor match, which was a great match, but the crowd was just exhausted. I mean, they've been there for 4 hours now up to the Seth and Finn Balor match part. That was in the 4th Balor. I feel those were 2 good matches, but since the event was so long, the crowd couldn't get into it. And then they had after the US match, title match was after the Seth and Finn Balor match, which does not make any sense. Weird math order, in my opinion. They should have had the US match first, since that wasn't even a match. They were just going to scrap it. And then they had some long ass KFC promo that was 20 minutes, well, 15, which was unnecessary. Which was basically Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, that was a horrible promotion for KFC. Had no reason to be on the pay-per-view. Why was that even part of the package? That should have been something in the pre-show, not during the main event, but I guess they had to find a way to fill all 5 hours. That was horrible. Brock versus Orton. The finish ended in Brock knocking Orton out, but the crowd wasn't in it. Besides, counting the German suplexes. But again, I would say that would have to go to SummerSlam being ridiculously long, 5 hours. That's 3 more hours. That's a full-time job. That's basically, the crowd did a part-time job shift, 5 hours of just sitting there and watching and screaming. You're gonna get exhausted. So I don't know if every Grand Slam, now that the rosters are split, I don't know if every Grand Slam is going to be 5 hours long. Hopefully not, because it's not going to work. It didn't even work for WrestleMania. WrestleMania was exhausting, and that was 5 hours, counting the pre-show. So I don't know if they're going to do Survivor Series and Royal Rumble 5 hours. I don't know if it would be possible to do a 5-hour Royal Rumble since 30 superstars are in the Royal Rumble to begin with. And we don't even know how that's going to work. Is it going to be 15 from Raw and 15 from SmackDown? And is it going to be like 2005? Do they get to choose what title they want, or do they have to go with their brand's title? Because that's going to be another headache to look out for when we get to January. And also advertised during this pay-per-view is now, throughout the whole year, there are going to be 19 pay-per-views. Back in 2005, I believe there were 16, and now there's going to be 19. So 3 extra pay-per-views a year, and the schedule seems like they want to do 2 pay-per-views a month. They want to do a SmackDown and then a Raw, and it seems like every other week or every 2 weeks you're going to get a pay-per-view. And I'm assuming where it's a Grand Slam pay-per-view, that would be the only pay-per-view for the month. But it's every 2 weeks there will be a pay-per-view, because in September 9/11 it's Backlash, and I think 2 weeks after that, or the week after that, it's Clash of Champions. And then after Clash of Champions, it's WWE Brung Back No Mercy, and that's a SmackDown pay-per-view. So that's going to be a lot of time and hours dedicated to WWE, which I don't think I'm going to be able to put in. Probably for the pay-per-views, but not for the shows. I already think I'm already considering just watching SmackDown because it's the better show, it's a better written show, and it's 2 hours and it's paced well. Whether Raw is 3 hours and it drags. Hopefully Raw will get better when the CWC is finished, because Raw is going to get those superstars to help fill that 9:30 to 10:30 gap. That's where Raw always starts to drag. Raw always starts to drag between the time of 9:30 and then 10:30. That hour is just full drag, and it always has been. Maybe the CWC cruiserweights could help fill it so it won't drag, but right now Raw is not looking good. And I like how that they have a tournament for the title, since Finn Balor dislocated his shoulder during the Seth Rollins, and during his match with Seth Rollins, he dislocated his shoulder because the famous running powerbomb, which is also dangerous, which I'm surprised WWE needs to ban that move, because the move has ended Sting's career and it took Finn Balor off the shelf for 4 to 6 months. So the move needs to be banned. It does nothing to do with Seth Rollins being reckless. It's just the move. You cannot predict how you're going to land, and the whiplash, and you can't brace for the impact because you can't see where you're landing. So I feel that move needs to be banned. So he had to relinquish the title on Raw, and then now they're having a tournament, but they're not calling it a tournament. Just call it a tournament. SmackDown called it a tournament for their blue silver pennies for the title. How come Raw is not calling their thing a tournament, which it is a tournament? And I already have it coming down to Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. That's that. But yes, Sasha's hurt. That's why she had to drop the title to Charlotte. And Finn Balor got hurt during the match. and now he's gone for 4 to 6 months. So everyone's either suspended for 30 days or hurt. The sad part is that the best storyline right now in WWE is Heath Slater's free agency. And he found a tag partner within Rhino, and if he wins the tag team belts will he get the SmackDown contract. That is currently the best storyline right now in the WWE main roster, is the Heath Slater storyline. And it's very sad to say. But yeah. Finn Balor out for 6 to 4 months. Sasha's sidelined till September 23rd. I did not like SummerSlam. I think I gave it a 2.7 out of 5. It was just way too long. 2 title matches both ended in no decision or either disqualification. And let me give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. What you thought of SummerSlam. The talking smack thing with Miz. I want that Miz. Can I get that Miz every week? Because what he said about Daniel Bryan, or about himself, about why he wrestles that way, is true. He hasn't been injured in 10 years. And he seems like there was a lot of truth in that shoot. So he was holding back tears and everything. And yeah, Miz really doesn't get the credit that he deserves as a wrestler because he isn't as flashy or doesn't take those unnecessary risks that other wrestlers do. But he hasn't been injured. So yeah, that was this week's WWE in a nutshell. If you like what you have witnessed, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And until next Saturday, guys, I'm Game Fiend, Fiendable Games, and I'll see you guys next week. Later, and peace.